Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to the video. Today we're going to talk about Minecraft Bedrock, the version of the game with the largest biomes and the most spread out structures, because this is the version of the game where you really need to explore Minecraft the most if you want to succeed in it. However, exploring this version can be tricky because most people understand, like, oh yeah, if you walk in a direction, you'll probably be fine. The thing about this version you've got to keep in mind though is it doesn't by default have coordinates. I have them on screen because of a host privilege, but if you don't want to have cheats enabled, you can't have coordinates, and that means actually, exploring biomes is incredibly difficult, and finding your way home is almost more tricky by itself. So in today's video, we'll be talking about exactly how you can explore biomes in this version while effectively finding your way home and also doing it in an incredibly fast manner. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video, giving you all the tips you need to find the wooden mansions you might want, the desert temples you might like, or jungle temples, anything like that. I'll be giving you all the tips you need in today's video. Hopefully you'll do enjoy it. Like the video if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like this sorts of videos. But let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start by talking about the very first and most obvious way you can explore your world, which is to pick a direction and simply to run in it. So this actually helps you with not getting lost by itself. It's what I did in my live stream because it's really easy to do. All you need to do is get some good food. I'd recommend beef or chicken. Just get some really good cooked food, and then you just want to run in a single direction. In this case, south. The reason that works quite well is because it means we can just keep walking that direction for as long as we have food. Eat the food, then keep on running, and that probably means that a stack of food will get you about 15,000, 20,000 blocks, which should be enough time to find the biome you're looking for. If you want a structure to find that, it means you can find that eventually because you've got a lot of food and a lot of time to simply do that. If you bring extra food with you and you make sure you bring a bed, then you're pretty well covered for pretty much every eventuality. And then when you need to come back, if you really want to do it simply and it's not that far away, all you have to do is 180-degree rotate. So we were running entirely in this direction. It's hard to veer off if you go in one direction. All you have to do is rotate 180 degrees, and you'll notice how we're going exactly north now. So again, the coordinates are on screen to show you that yes, this is going exactly how we intended it to, and you're going to end up in roughly the same place, if not exactly the same place that you ended up with when you left. So that's the first, easiest, and not really fastest way, but like just most effective way to not get lost if you're going out and about. And it's something I'd recommend just if you want to do things easily and you don't want to go too far. But if you want to go hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of blocks and you want to do it quickly because you want to explore a whole bunch of stuff, then what I recommend instead, because running on foot is fast, but it's only about 6 meters a second. So faster than 6 meters a second by a little bit is minecart speed, and faster than minecart speed by a lot is the speed of a good horse. So I'd recommend breeding some horses or just taming some random horses until you find yourself a good horse. In my case, I've got one that goes about 8 meters a second, something like that. And as you can see, this is much faster than walking, and it has multiple benefits over walking. The first one is the fact that obviously instead of using our hunger, we're using the horses health and stuff, which means we're safer, and we're also safe from that, and also we're not using our hunger, so we don't even need to worry about cooked beef. We can go as far as we humanly want to. I could hold down forwards on my stick, and as long as there's no mountains, it will just keep on working for hundreds, sometimes thousands of blocks. These deserts can get pretty big, so you can just do that in one direction. And then the second cool thing about the horse is the fact that it allows you to travel further, which means you might want to therefore use some different stuff. You want to travel diagonally and stuff, and if you ever do want to get yourself home, then all you have to do is make sure you bring a compass with you, which you can always just check your inventory, because the compass will always point you to your default spawn location, and as long as your house isn't too far from the spawn, you'll be able to find your way home just from going there. So as you can see, the thing recommends going this way, so we can always find our way home if we have a horse or any fast mode of transport. You can do this on foot too, but like it's just, again, making things simpler. If you've got the effort to tame a horse and to get the saddle, to get all that sort of stuff, you probably have the effort to just build a compass. It's only an iron and some redstone, and then you can get yourself easy access to the way home. So yeah, that's the only other way home that will like properly point itself to you. But what if you want to do something crazier, like you want to spin a bunch and you don't have a compass, or the compass isn't useful because your spawn isn't anywhere nearby? Then what I'd recommend is keeping track of the direction you're going in very roughly. So by that I mean like work out that you're going mostly southwest from the spawn, and then if you have to do a bunch of turns, let's say you're turning right and then you turn left, then you turn right, and let's say you've lost which direction's which, all you need to do is know what cardinal direction you're going in, because if you do that and you have a fast mode of transport, then all you need to bring with you is some rails, and you can always work out the direction. So you can do this based on the sun rising too. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, I'm pretty certain. I hope I didn't get that wrong, but basically you can check the sun if you want to get an idea of where east and west is. But if you want to get even better idea, because let's say you wanted to go southwest to get home, or northwest, either southwest to get home or northwest to get thing, all you have to do is do this, southeast to get home, or northwest. Then all you have to do is place 4 rails down. So let me place those right now. Remove this block over here. As long as you place 4 rails down, nothing like this, the middle rail will always point south and it will always point east. You can use this to your advantage to work out what south and east are, therefore what north and west are, and it can basically work as a compass that actually works as a compass, because a compass points towards the spawn, but sometimes you don't want the spawn, you want the cardinal directions. And as you can see, this always points to the southeast, no matter how many times you do it, no matter where you do it, as long as they're all on equal footing. The southeast is preferred in Minecraft for reasons I'm not entirely certain. It's a weird like rule of Minecraft worlds, but you can use this to your advantage, and you can use it to guarantee you're always going southeast as you can check by my coordinates, or you can go the opposite way to this to always go northwest to get yourself home. So boom, there's an easy way to get home as well if you're using a horse. So let's move on to the third way you can travel, and this one is really kind of a niche one, but again, it's very easy. Doesn't even require any special, like, oh, you gotta tame a horse and find a saddle. The third way they might want to travel is by using a boat. So the boat method is pretty useful because you get in your boat and you can sail as fast as you want, and it takes no hunger, and you can go along any sea or anything like that, but it's very limited in that you will have to go along shore at some point. So I'd recommend tailing it with either the horse method or something else, because a fun fact on this version that everyone forgets about is you can actually get your horse inside the boat if you try. So yeah, you can actually bring your horse with you, so you can get the best of both. Well, I'm actually I was riding my horse in the boat, but rather than my thing. But as you can see right here, you can actually get your horse in the boat and then sit in your boat as well if you do things just right. And the cool thing about, okay, apparently I can't, but you can in theory do that because they are two-person boats. There we go, I did it. And as you can see, now I can bring my horse with me when I go around and I go to other places. So if you are going to go over long distances and you want to go in the same direction, or you want to go in roughly the same direction and you want to explore an ocean, then you can actually bring your mega fast horse with you, and you can do that in a boat. So that's a handy little thing. And let's say that you wanted to go to a forest, or more realistically a roof forest, but once you get to your roof forest destination, you might think the best way to explore this thing, to find a wooded mansion, is just to run through it and hope you see some dark oak. But what I recommend instead is always bring a stack of blocks, or multiple stacks of blocks that you can easily destroy. Sand or gravel's an easy one, and then stacking up from it and looking around the entire place. Look how much time I'm saving here just by being able to do this. As you can see, I've explored the entire forest biome from above without having to run through it on the surface level. So yeah, if you're looking in roof forests or you're looking in jungles, always stack yourself up and get a vantage point because you can see so much more here. Also, what I recommend is having your render distance at the highest. If you go to graphics options, you can turn up your render distance, and this will give you an even better advantage because it means you can see the entirety of the biome and not just most of it. So with that said, let's just talk about a few more tips that you might not have realized when it comes to properly exploring, because most people when they explore, again, they just kind of run on foot, and this is useful sometimes, but it's not useful all the time. So how do you make this even better? What I recommend is always checking out, one, again, doing the vantage thing, except in a desert or a plains biome, if there's lots of stuff in the way, always stack up above it, like 10, 20 blocks, and second of all, always check the caves around you. This might seem like kind of silly because like, oh yeah, what are you going to find in caves? Pretty much nothing. All I'm here for is the woodland mansion or the, whatever, you're only here for the temples, you're only here for this or that, but you can actually find lots of hidden stuff in caves sometimes. Sometimes it's as simple as like, oh, there's some coal, and I needed coal, and just by looking in a cave, like, again, you see caves all over the place, you can find it fairly easily like that. But if you're really lucky, and so let's see what's in this one. As you can see, like, you might find coal, you might find anything you're looking for, but if you're really lucky, you might just find a mob spawner or something along those lines, abandoned mineshaft or something. And if you find one of these, then you can, actually, I'm gonna die if I get in there. Let's be very quick with this. As you can see, you can get inside, you can find golden apples, you can find gunpowder, you can find horse armor for that horse that you have, which is especially valuable. And basically, just being able to find, just being able to find these things is really, really valuable, and it's something that you might not even think about. So yeah, make sure you're looking out for mob spawners because they also seem like they're rarer on this version, and therefore you need to find them in the more traditional way like this. So yeah, with that said, let's talk about the final way, the fastest way to travel your Minecraft world. It comes with the downside of not being able to explore it, but it's the very fastest way you can get home in your world at all. And you might be wondering, what is that? So my number one tip for exploring the world, if you want to just explore the most distance, you want to get to the far lands, or you want to go like 10,000 blocks because you're sure that the Woodland Mansion is in like 50,000 blocks or whatever it is, if you want to travel some amount of distance really quickly, or you want to get home really quickly, I would recommend using the Nether portal. So as you can tell by my coordinates, I'm about 1,000 blocks from home right now, and that, that seems really far and really scary and really depressing. But the truth is if you use the Nether, you can do that really quickly, both on foot, but even not on foot. So let's hop through a Nether portal at 1,082 blocks from home, and as you can see, that translates the Nether into about, I think that's like, what, 80 blocks or something, like 90 blocks, 126 blocks here. But that means all I have to do to get entirely home to zero is to go that way about 100 blocks. That's all you have to travel. 100 blocks will get you home. And the best bit is you can do this by itself, but you can combine this with another thing. So the fastest method of flying in the overworld is the Elytra, but it requires fireworks, so it's not too efficient unless you have a giant farm. But as you can see, all I have to do right here is fly a little bit, and then this is me home. If I build a portal here, I'll build it just to prove a point. If I build a portal right here, I'll be in the area of my old world. This is one you might recognize from streams, but I'll be in an area where I do have stuff. Okay, oh, there's a blaze right there. But I'll be in an area where I actually can. Okay, let's just make it a little bit safer. But if you look over here, I'm going to be right in the spawn area. Oh, actually, okay, so yeah, I'm somewhere. I'm about 700 blocks in the wrong direction because I only did one corner, not the other one, but I'm in the right area to be my spawn. I'm 700 blocks this way instead of 1,000 blocks on the other direction, which might sound confusing, but it means I'm roughly home if you look at my Z coordinate. However, what we can actually do is if we want to go way further, so bear in mind we were at 1,000, roughly in each direction. What if we want to go really, really far? Well, the fastest way to travel just so many blocks at once is to use an elytra. Oh, okay, and okay, I'm gonna die now. It seems it's to use an elytra like this, and then to have fireworks attached to it. So we need to get out there somehow, so we have to really be careful with this. And as long as you're really good at navigating the Nether, it does require some amount of skill like this. And as long as you have fireworks with just even with just one chain attached to them, as you can see right here, I'm traveling 300 blocks so fast in the Nether, and 300 blocks in the Nether doesn't seem like a lot. Like, oh yeah, I've traveled 600 blocks now, like, is that really even a big deal? But bear in mind, once we add those blocks, with a ×8 multiplier, that means that just this amount of time that you've seen in this video, it wasn't even the fastest it could be because I didn't even use speed potions, which actually, let's, just for fun, let's do that now. So let's add this potion of speed to it, and let's keep on flying in some direction, and use the rest of these 17 rockets. You'll see just how, oh jeez, assuming your flight works, which sometimes on this version it just doesn't, right? Like, I don't know what I'm ever doing wrong for that, but either way, as you can see, you keep flying and you keep going until you reach an end, or like me, you find a corner like this. But if you just keep on flying with this speed, look how fast you can go, and this is translating to an 8x speed boost essentially, which means if I keep going this direction, I started at 1,000 positive, and I think roughly 1,000 positive, and I'm going to end up in about 1,000 blocks in the Nether over here. So I could have done that whole journey in the overworld and explored the whole thing, or because we're in the Nether, and that's what today's fun example is for, we've gone to about 900 blocks over here pretty quickly. This is the entire size of a Minecraft 360 world, except we traveled it in the Nether, and it's in the new Minecraft Bedrock Nether. So bear in mind, this Nether is how about I just let the results speak for themselves, shall I? So here you can see this is my portal. Gonna build it. Normal stuff, nothing going special here, besides it's like slightly taller, I guess, by accident. But as you can see, I hopped through this portal, and I went from being 1,000 blocks on one side, and roughly like 700 on the other, to being 6,800 blocks by -3,300. I traveled 10,000 blocks in that time, I'd say just in this episode, but sorry, in this video, but just in the last like 3 minutes of this video, and you can travel much, much further. I've gone from a place where it was desert, mixed of like a forest, to like just a huge spruce tiger biome, and then if I use the same firework rocket to go to this guy here, I can check out an entirely new set of biomes. Oh, it's snowing up there, but still, you can check out an entirely new set of biomes, and as long as it's not raining, which I unfortunately have, then you can see how this is actually like that. So, a pro tip: whenever it's raining, go to sleep as soon as you can, because obviously raining makes it harder to explore, and you can't see biomes quite so well. But still, that's what I found in this time, and maybe this is an encouragement for you to go and explore your Minecraft world. I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope it taught you something about exploration. I like exploring Minecraft. It's one of my favorite things in the game, and maybe it's one of yours too, or maybe you just want to give it a try, and hope this video helped you. Like if you liked it, share if you liked it, and subscribe if you're around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you hit the bell for notifications, you'll see these videos daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.